There is a quiet truth that reveals itself only after many years of living. And it is this truth that I wish to share with you today. A truth that many discover only after the noise of life begins to fade. That happiness does not come from constant companionship, from being needed, or from being surrounded by people, but from being deeply at peace with oneself. And when a woman reaches her later years, something beautiful happens. If she allows it, she begins to understand herself. And in that understanding, solitude transforms from something feared into something sacred. And there are 5 types of older women who embody this wisdom. Women who are truly happy living alone, not because they have withdrawn from life, but because they have finally arrived at its essence. The first is the woman who has learned to think for herself, the independent mind. Throughout her life, she was told who to be, how to behave, what was acceptable, what was expected. But with time, she learned to pause, to question, to listen inwardly. And now in her solitude, she feels no pressure to perform or explain. She wakes when her body is ready. She eats when she is hungry. She speaks when she has something meaningful to say. Her mind is her companion, and it is a wise one. She reads, reflects, observes, and learns, not to impress anyone, but to stay awake inside. And because she trusts herself, she does not feel alone. She feels free, free from comparison, free from judgment, free from the endless noise of other people's opinions. And that freedom brings a calm confidence that cannot be shaken. The second type is the woman who spent her life healing others, the nurturer, the one who gave without counting, who held families together, who listened, who sacrificed sleep, dreams, and sometimes even her own health for the sake of others. And now, living alone, she finally learns a lesson that took decades to arrive, that she, too, deserves care. Her solitude becomes a place of restoration, not emptiness. She rests without guilt. She listens to her body. She treats herself gently. She understands that love does not disappear when people leave. It simply changes direction. And now it flows inward, nourishing her heart and spirit. She still gives, but now from overflow rather than depletion. Her home becomes a sanctuary, a quiet place where her soul can breathe again. And this brings her a deep, steady happiness that no external validation ever could. The third type is the creative spirit, the woman whose imagination was once postponed by duty, by responsibility, by the endless needs of others. And now, in her solitude, creativity awakens, not as a hobby, but as a way of being. She paints, writes, gardens, cooks, decorates, dreams, or simply imagines. Her home is alive with intention. Her days have rhythm and purpose. And she creates not to be seen, but to feel alive. Solitude is fertile ground for her spirit, because creativity needs space, silence, and freedom. And when she creates, time dissolves, age dissolves, and she feels connected to something timeless, something larger than herself. And this connection brings joy that does not fade. The fourth type is the peace seeker, the woman who has known chaos and chosen calm. She has lived through enough storms to understand that noise is not vitality, and conflict is not passion. She now values stillness above stimulation. Her happiness lives in slow mornings, soft light, warm tea, gentle movement, and quiet breath. She no longer engages in unnecessary arguments. She steps away from emotional turbulence without explanation, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. She understands that peace is not weakness, it is mastery. And because she protects her inner world, her solitude feels safe, nourishing, and deeply satisfying. And then there is the fifth type, the wise elder, the woman who carries all the others within her. She has nothing left to prove, nothing left to chase, nothing left to defend. She lives alone, but is never lonely, because her life is full of meaning, memory, and acceptance. She understands impermanence. She has made peace with loss. She smiles easily, forgives quickly, worries less. She knows that life flows whether one resists or not, and so she flows with it. Her presence is calm, grounding, and quietly powerful. People feel better around her without knowing why, because she does not teach with words. She teaches with being. She understands that happiness is not accumulation, but alignment. Alignment with one's true nature, beneath all roles and expectations. And when you observe these women closely, you realize something profound. Living alone is not the absence of love. It is the return to self. It is the moment a woman stops surviving for others and begins living for her soul. Society often fears solitude because it confuses stillness with emptiness. But these women know better. They know that silence is full, that quiet is rich, that peace is not boring, it is healing. And if you recognize yourself in any of these reflections, know this: you are not behind, you are not forgotten, you are not lonely, you are evolving. Solitude has chosen you because you are ready for depth. Wisdom always grows best in quiet soil. This stage of life is not an ending. It is a flowering, a time when the unnecessary falls away, and only what is true remains. And that is why these women are truly happy, because they are finally home within themselves. And when you are at home within yourself, no one can take your peace. No circumstance can steal your joy, and no silence can make you feel alone. This is the quiet power of the wise woman, and this is the beauty of growing older with awareness.